The date, April 30th of 1789. The place, New York City, the very first capital of the United States under the new Constitution. That's right, it was New York City, not Philadelphia, and not Washington, D.C. In New York City, alright, that's enough of that. On this date in New York City, George Washington will be inaugurated as the first President of the United States.
General, if you will please place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, George Washington, do solemnly swear.
I, George Washington, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
I will faithfully execute of the United States.
And will, to the best of my ability,
To the best of my ability.
preserve, protect, and defend
Preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States. So help me, God.
It is done. God bless George Washington, President of the United States.
When George Washington took over as first President of the United States, the country faced many challenges. To start out with, pirates were attacking all American ships on the oceans. Yes, real pirates. Next, the Native Americans are still upset about us taking our land. They keep attacking us on the frontier. Not to mention the fact that the United States is very, very weak compared to the rest of the world, and especially next to Europe. And next to the rest of the world, our military was incredibly, incredibly small. George Washington himself faced many problems being the first president of the United States. To start out with, nobody knew what the heck a president was. George Washington literally is the first president in the world. People could not understand this new concept where they're putting one person in power, yet he's going to share power with things like Congress. And because of this, there's really no guidelines or rules for him to follow. Yes, there's the Constitution, but even that's not all that clear on how much power a president has. And because he is the first president, every president after him will follow his example, which means he could turn this position into something fantastic, or he can lead it into a catastrophe. That's a lot of pressure. And George Washington himself didn't feel like he was worthy of doing such a job. He says, "So unwilling am I to quit a peaceful abode for an ocean of difficulties, without that competency of political skill, abilities, and inclination which are necessary to manage the helm." Shortly after the inauguration, Congress got to work passing a few more laws that are going to help get our country started. First off, they passed the Bill of Rights, those first 10 amendments to the Constitution. Next, they passed the Judiciary Act of 1789, which set up the court system, including the Supreme Court, and they appointed John Jay as the first Chief Justice. Next, they created the Presidential Cabinet. No, not a kitchen cabinet. A presidential cabinet is a set of advisors that help the president make decisions. They created 4 positions. Edmund Randolph was appointed as the first Attorney General. Henry Knox was appointed as the first Secretary of War. Alexander Hamilton was our first Secretary of the Treasury. And Thomas Jefferson was our very first Secretary of State. So what about John Adams? John Adams was made our very first Vice President, which meant he really didn't have a job at all. In fact, Washington didn't really include him in his cabinet.
There are cabinet matters that I would like to discuss. If you would excuse us, Mr. Adams. Please convey my regards to your wife.
Thank you.